Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have my Week 3 USFL predictions. So last week I had a record of 3-1, which brings my overall season record to 5-3. So starting off this week, we have the Gamblers against the Bandits. So two teams took a loss last week. The Gamblers played a pretty good overall game against one of the two remaining undefeated teams. Actually, they both played one of the two remaining undefeated teams. The Gamblers lost to the Breakers. The Gamblers lost to the Stallions, and the Bandits lost to the Breakers. The Gamblers wide receivers did not help. They had so many drops, and even with all those drops, they were still able to put up 28 points. Clayton Thorson, their quarterback, when you look at his stats, he has thrown 4 interceptions, which leads the league. Which obviously you don't want to lead the league in interceptions, but last game there was 2 where there was one off the receiver's hands, and another where the receiver just didn't look for the ball. So I still think Clayton Thorson, well, you may look at the numbers and be like, oh wow, this guy, he must be garbage. He's thrown 4 interceptions in 2 games. Really, half of them weren't his fault. And the Bandits, on the other hand, they're coming off a beatdown by the Breakers. They weren't even able to get in the end zone, only getting 3 points. The Gamblers are going to need to be able to run the ball. So, and they're going to be running into the strength of the Bandits team, and that is their defensive front. They have a big defensive front, and that's why we saw them struggle against the Breakers, because they spread them out and made them run. And these are big guys that the Bandits have, and they don't have much stamina. But I do think the Bandits will get back on track, winning. It could go either way, but I have the Bandits 26-21. In the Saturday night game, this is the game we will be doing a live watch party for. So our stream will start 7:50 Eastern Time as the game starts 8 Eastern. And this is the battle of the 2 undefeated teams, so hopefully you're there. I have a feeling it'll be a lot of fun. And on to my prediction. So it's the battle of the last 2 undefeated teams, the Breakers and Stallions. So one, can the Stallions keep drawing a big crowd? The 2 biggest crowds so far have both been in the Stallions games. But is that really surprising? Because they're the hometown team. So my prediction, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. The Stallions, I think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think both teams are going to put up a lot of points. But the Stallions are going to need to score a lot of points because they don't have an elite defense like the Breakers. The Breakers have a great offense and an elite pass rush. So for the Stallions, I would look for them to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, probably Jamar Smith, out of his hands very quickly before the pass rush can get home. I do think the Breakers will come out on top, winning by a score of 37-28. But I do think it will be a very close game, even though you may think that's not really the closest game. I also think this game has the potential for a blowout. Because when you look at it, 2 great offenses, 1 great defense, 1 okay defense. So if the great defense plays great defense, and they're able to hold the good offense, and then they can score, it has the potential for a blowout, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Very competitive, entertaining game. Breakers come out on top, 37-28. The third game, we have the Pittsburgh Maulers taking on the Michigan Panthers. Now, this is the battle of the 2 winless teams. The Maulers look like they're ready to go with Josh Love at quarterback. For the Panthers, Paxton Lynch hasn't looked great. He has led a few comebacks, but they've both fallen short. I know Paxton Lynch had a bad game in Week 1, but if Patterson struggles, I want to see Paxton Lynch given a second chance. But that's really what I want to see. I do want to see Paxton Lynch play a little bit, regardless. For the Panthers, unless Shea Patterson just looks like he's the best quarterback on planet Earth. But the Panthers, their defense is good enough to hold the Maulers to a low score that they can win. I think this will be a low-scoring affair. Panthers get the win, 14-10. And the final game of the week, we have the Generals taking on the Stars. The Generals are a run-first team, and the Stars are a pass-first team. The Generals did have a few key pass defenders on their injury report. Safety Mike Bell did not practice. Cornerback Christian Tutt did not practice, or was limited, and linebacker / safety Shawan Lawani, hopefully I said his name correctly, did not participate. So, close game, but I do think the Stars will get the win, 27-23. So, those are my Week 3 USFL predictions. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel, where you can vote on who you think will win these games. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, I do my best to post as often as possible, and I hope to see you in Saturday night's stream for the battle of the two undefeated teams, the Breakers and the Stallions.